formal clothes, not casual clothes, differences between do's and don'ts. You can do these things on the left. Don't do that at the top, right? Don't have messy hair. Don't have your shirt untucked. Ladies have a bit of freedom, right? They don't necessarily have to wear a suit, but you want to wear formal clothes to your interview, okay? So when we actually do the job interview, I'm hoping that you guys are going to dress formally. Is that too much to ask? Well, I would like you guys to be able to do it when we have our job interview on the final week, but I'm not sure. Right? Don't forget to include your qualifications, right? Qualifications from the University of Oxford, from Namso University, your language assessment test. This is your diploma. I guess Koreans would call them specs. Specs. Things that are very important in Korea, like your Microsoft Word certificate or your, these kind of specs, like for the different license you got. They're not as important in America or Europe as they are in Korea. They could be if it's like a really, really good skill, like you took a workshop on Adobe. Maybe that could be important. But if you just took a class about Microsoft Word or spreadsheet, Excel, Americans aren't really that interested about your specs. They're just interested that you know how to use it. As you know, some people can take the class, but they didn't really learn anything, right? And some people never took the class, but they're really good at it. So in like American company, it's not that important as it is in Korean company. But we want to know, of course, you can speak English, and we want your diploma to know where you graduated from, where you graduated, and what did you study, this kind of thing. But the other one's not quite as important in this case. Okay. So what is this? This is kind of an American style office, European style office, maybe not that different from some Korean style, right? Just the office. We call those things sometimes cubicle. Cubicle, like a little square if they're sectioned off from the other employees. I think in Korea, mostly I've always had them kind of squared off, kind of cut off from other people. So yeah, office, very simple vocabulary. Guys, we all been over it, right? Also, in different ways. How about this? What is this? It looks like a kind of port, right? Of course, in this case, it means it's a shipping. Shipping site is a work site. It's a kind of work site. It's like a physical work site as well. So many different ways we can talk about work sites, right? Work site for Lateria is like in the subway station. Work site for your sports. Or something along these lines. Right? Something. So this looks like another kind of work site, right? some other kind of worksite, maybe a construction site or a building site. So I think this is one I wrote here, building site. That's often a bit more British English. In American English, we're going to say probably building site. Sorry, we're going to say construction site in American English. We could use both though. Like in American English, we call like a construction worker, whereas in British English, they will call a builder, right? A person who works here is a builder. So as you can see, the differences between American English and British English, they're not as big as between like some Korean dialects like Jeju and Seoul. But they can still be very big. Sorry guys, I'm trying to keep my mouth not dry. So I'm eating some holes. What is this? Maybe for some of you that looks like a very great place, right? A very great place to work. High life quality, perhaps, right? What is it? Well, it looks like an artist's room, right? But we might call this a studio. I think not very different from how the studio functions. We can use studio for a place where you do any kind of work that's a kind of creative. And now people even talk about like a work studio or like a cooking studio. And those are still always studios. How about this? What's happening here? It looks like some kind of movie or video, right? That's a film set, right? A place where you work on films, of course, is a film set or on the set. Of course, they need athletic and sports people involved in filming sometimes, right? What kind of work site is this? Easy, right? The one is a farm. Street, of course, street site. The work site, where's the work site? The work site is the street. How about here? Underground, right? Underground, and specifically underground in British English often means like a subway site. Okay, so let's look at these different jobs here, and we're going to talk about adjectives. This is kind of our little grammar lesson. Remember, adjectives, 형용사, the words that describe a noun. So describe this job with adjectives. What could we say? Well, it's a farmer, right? Looks like he's growing wheat, right? Is job easy or hard? What do you think? Boring or exciting? What kind of qualifications do you need for this job? Or say this job is very tiring, right? Make people very tired if you do this job all the time. He is, of course, a farmer. Is tough. Tough, 힘들어, difficult job. Honest. In America, at least, we have a stereotype that the farmer is very honest. Now, maybe that's not true, but it's honest work. Maybe Korea is similar, right? Reliable. Reliable is somebody you can rely on, right? something that you can trust. It's always going to work. So reliable in the sense mirosuitnen, reliability, right? Reliability. In that case, so many words I think in Korean for reliable. So 신뢰도, 확실성, something you can count on, and it always works. It's reliable. The farmer is a reliable job. How about this? Oh, you know him. Very handsome Thor, right? He's an actor, of course, right? How can you describe his job? Well, he's lucky, though, I think. We could say he's very lucky. He's an actor. Nowadays, we call men and women actors, not just men. Attractive, right? He's handsome, good looking, confident, right? He's not scared, he's not nervous. If you're an actor, you have to be very confident. Hardworking, right? He doesn't give up, not lazy. Most actors, although they were lucky to get the job, actors that I know, they work really hard and they still don't make a lot of money, right? But they work a lot. It's very difficult to memorize it all, and it's a lot of hard work. So I definitely think that a real actor is super hardworking. You agree? I'm sure you do. Even the famous actors make a lot of money for it, but the not famous actors, they don't get a lot of money, but they still work hard. How about her? She looks very kind, right? What's her job? What is it? What is she doing? She's an office worker, right? Office worker, secretary. Koreans might say salaryman. She's a woman, of course. A little bit different meaning from salaryman. I think office worker sounds, to me, it sounds like more respectful. Not just a person who makes money, but she works in an office. She's patient, right? She's willing to wait. A patient person. Patient person. Doesn't get angry easily. She knows how to deal with stress and deals with problems. She's talkative. If you're working in the office, you have to talk a lot, right? You have to know things a lot, and you have to be able to communicate a lot. That's one of the things they included in their cover letter. They were talkative and they learned communication skills. And social, also very similar, right? And I think in the Korean office, being social is even more important, right? Even more important than it might be in like an American job where it's kind of tolerated to be by yourself a bit. But to be social is, of course, a very good skill to have at any job. As a teacher, I have to be really social. Even though I'm a little bit shy person, I have to be very social. Although this semester, I'm pretty lonely, always talking to the computer every day. But yeah, social. How about this? Well, he's clearly an artist. He's standing in front of his artwork. He looks very proud. Describe his job. Well, he's an artist, of course. He's creative. I think we've been over this word a lot. Has a lot of creativity. He's focused, right? You know, if you really like art and you really want to develop your skill, you have to focus. You can't just draw 1 hour a day. You know, I know artists, they draw all the time. Don't stop drawing. They told me, I asked, how do you get good? And they said, well, it's easy. Just don't stop drawing. Don't stop painting. That's how you develop your skills. So I think that requires a lot of focus. So I think an artist is a very focused job. And observant. The verb observe means to watch things. An observant person is a person who's always looking at things. I see you guys sitting at Starbucks and you're always watching people and watching what's happening. You're making observation. You are an observant person. if you behave like this. If you behave like this. Do we have any artists among the sports business majors? I always wonder. Students are kind of hesitant to express their artistic side, but I noticed we have a lot of artistic students at Namso University. How about this construction worker? It looks tough, right? Construction worker or builder in British English. Of course, he should be a bit strong. If he doesn't look strong, he's got to carry things all day. It's, we say in English, back-breaking work. Discipline. What's disciplined mean? That's a little bit harder of a meaning, right? So right now you're listening to the lecture, yeah? You're listening to this lecture more than 1 hour. More than 1 hour. And you want to play phone game, right? You want to play. But you don't. You look at the screen. You focus on the vocabulary. You focus on thinking about your resume. You're disciplined. 동솔된, I think 잘 동솔된 받은. Sorry guys, my bottom is not good today. But anyways, to be disciplined, right? 훈련 받은, I think. It's a kind of focus, right? It's an aspect of being focused on something. And weathered. Okay, weathered is something that's like, it's like tough, but like used too much, right? Weathered, if you had a hard life, you're very weathered, your hair gets gray quickly. So like in Korean, that's a little bit hard to exactly explain. I'm not sure what the Korean meaning is, but yeah, it means like to have like a lot of stress, to show your stress. He's very weathered, to be strong and get through everything, and to be gray and to have injury. And this is a weathered person. You hurt your back, weathered. Okay, so let's think about interview role play. Do you remember role play? Yeah, to take on the role of another person. So this is another thing that I hope that we are going to have time to do in our Zoom class. So you're going to choose a job in pairs. I'm gonna list some jobs, and you're going to have to choose one. Okay, you're going to get in pairs. We're going to have groups in our Zoom class. One will be the interview, and the other will be the interviewee. Okay, one will be interviewer, and the other will be the interviewee. So you're going to switch roles back and forth. And you're going to try to use formal language when you speak to each other. What do you consider? May I ask? Could you tell me? So you're going to use questions like, what do you consider to be the best point of a new employee? May I ask, what did you study in university? Could you tell me about your experience? What is your greatest strength? What do you consider your greatest achievement? So this is the kind of way that they ask questions in the interview. So we're going to practice this in our teams in the Zoom class. Okay, we're going to practice these in our teams in the Zoom class. Got it? So please practice these questions. Familiarize yourself with these questions because we're going to use them in our class. Hopefully you watch this before Zoom class. Okay, make a short talk. So we're going to talk about this, about the hardest job that you can think of. So surely working underground must be the hardest job. You can't ever see the sky. May I ask how long you've been without seeing the sun? Could you tell me how long you would last with no sunlight? I think a week at most. Also, think of people that work at night. They don't see the sun that often. Their greatest achievement must be going to work every day in the darkness. So we're going to talk about the hardest jobs you can imagine. And we're going to try to use this language to talk about it, because this is the kind of language that I'm going to think about to use in your job interview. So when we get together with your team, with your partners, you're going to have to express yourself this way. Okay, so just about finished, everybody. I want to remind you, please prepare for Zoom class and use your camera and talk. You must talk. Got it? If you don't talk at least 3 times, then you're not going to get the full credit. I know it's tough, but if you want the credit, you've got to do it, right? Don't forget to upload your resume. If you have not uploaded it yet, you need to upload it by May 8th. Don't forget to upload the cover letter, and you should do that by May 17th. Just about ready for May 17th. And don't forget your quiz is canceled. There's going to be no quiz coming up. Just upload your assignments, prepare for Zoom class, stay safe and healthy. Again, if you have a question, please send me an email. If it's a very, 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 very important question, please send a Kakao Talk. I think that's about it. I think next week, I'm just gonna post a short video, and then I'm gonna record our Zoom class. I'm gonna post that. So next week we're gonna have a little bit of a break. You don't have to watch a very long video. I'm just gonna post the Zoom class. I'm gonna post a short video next week as well. So it's a break for me too, so we don't have to do Zoom class and video every week. But next week, no Zoom class, and video class will be short. Okay, I'm just going to post this Zoom class as well, give you guys a little bit of a break and give you time to prepare your resumes and cover letters and study and everything, okay? So that's my kind of Children's Day gift to you guys. Okie dokie. Again, any questions, send me an email. Good luck, guys, and see you in Zoom if I haven't already. Bye-bye.